So let's discuss him for a minute. For me, there was a point earlier in this year, Michigan game, week 2, where I thought the trajectory was on its way up. Former top recruit, had slightly gotten better every year, ran the offense well. I never thought he was a toolsy type of guy, but quick reads, making the right decision, short and intermediate accuracy, I thought was fine. I thought there was this Bo Nix like trajectory where you saw Nix literally get better every year, and Ewers might have been on his way to do that. I think we got robbed of that because he got hurt again, and then tried to play through it, and his game was far more inconsistent. And it was never there. And look, he may have never gotten there, and injury aside, he may never have progressed. But that's what I was keeping an eye on in week 2. Is he going to be the next guy that has this Bo Nix like trajectory and gets better every year? But then the injury part of it is part of this story, much like it is for Shuck. Ewers played through a bunch of them, but he's been hurt the better part, big parts of the last 2-3 years. So that is a factor with Quinn Ewers. And even though I think he did get better, a little bit better every year, there's still just so much inconsistency on his tape, especially the deep ball. I mean, he has had some of the best speed receivers, A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, the 4.29 Matthew Golden, right? Isaiah Boyd, and we do not have consistent downfield throwing from Quinn Ewers beyond 20 yards.
Yeah, so look, I think they got that in. We talked about this at the combine, right? They got that propaganda out there that Ewers was battling an oblique injury this season, and man, if that would have kept most people out of the starting lineup at all, that he deserves huge credit for battling through that. That shut down Derek Carr this season, and instead he's out there making a go of it and not playing as well as he could because of that. I think let's say that's real, right? I have no reason to suspect that it isn't, other than it's quite a convenient story, given that he's, headed towards the draft right now. But let's say that's a reason that this season wasn't as good as previous years. I just don't ever. So number one, I think I don't understand what people are looking at when they watch Quinn Ewers tape sometimes. Like, people talk about him as this toolsy quarterback with a cannon, and I just do not see that. I do not see evidence of this strong-armed, physical traits type of quarterback. It's all marginal to me. Like, it's in the category with the other guys that we're talking about, where people are bringing it up as a criticism, and yet somehow it's a strength of Quinn Ewers. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't know where it's coming from. Secondly, if you exclude like the injury year, the injury season, you still can't find like any PFF measurement where he doesn't grade below average. Like, everything is weak. It's 47th percentile in from a clean pocket. It's 44th percentile in terms of percentage of positively graded plays. It's 32nd percentile in terms of avoiding negatively graded plays. It's just bad. He's just not a good quarterback and never has been. And yet, because for some reason he was the best graded recruit ever, there's this lingering belief that Quinn Ewers should be good. And yet nobody can seem to find evidence of it actually being the case.
Hey guys, just taking a quick break to tell you, hey, just over 50% of you are still unsubscribed to Check the Mic. It helps the channel. It helps to make sure that you don't miss any of our shows. So if you have a chance, hit the subscribe button right now. Yeah, there was, again, oblique injury. Played through it the whole year, but Ohio State game there in the playoff, he tried to, how far was that Hail Mary? He tried to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the half, barely reached the end zone. I mean, it was like 45, 50 yards. He could barely even get it there. I haven't seen a great arm either. Forgive me. Remember Luke Falk? Luke Falk, touch thrower. It's not that bad, but I'm just, like, it reminded me of like the positives for Ewers were as he was playing the Michigan game, which will always be like the pinnacle for me watching him. I know he played against Alabama before he got hurt 22. But touch throws, short area accuracy, I thought a lot of that was fantastic. But the arm, RPM-wise, velocity-wise, or just deep ball is an arm strength, but just deep ball consistency has never really been there, I don't think, for Quinn Ewers.
By the way, even you saw the video they posted at his pro day. Like, he did a similar throw to the classic Zach Wilson roll out to your left, fire it downfield, and like with Zach Wilson, it's like, wow, this is like mind blowing. This is why he's the top prospect. Quinn Ewers rolls out, throws the ball. It's like a 55-yard duck. It's like dying, wobbling. Looks like late era Peyton Manning. And you know, the NFL's like official account is like, look at this ball or whatever. Texas is like, look at this. Like, it's all positive. You're like, what are you looking at? This is a negative throw. This is a bad example. Like, this is a weakness, not a strength you're posting here. I don't understand the way the Quinn Ewers thing is portrayed.
Just laughing at some people trashing my 8-year-old's mock draft right now, but it's good times. Yeah, Ewers. So yeah, he's at 9 for me. He's at 10 for you.
I wanted to get him out of the top 10. I desperately wanted to not have him in my rankings, and I couldn't find another quarterback that I was comfortable was better than him.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to see it. I really thought, I mean, this is going to sound ridiculous now because we both barely have him as a top 10 quarterback in this class. I really thought evaluators were going to be at that game in Michigan saying there's QB1 in this class. And think about what was happening earlier this season. Cam Ward wasn't really a thing yet. He was just this high upside, had one good game against Florida. We think it could be there, but he hadn't done it yet. Shedeur, again, he's not the toolsiest guy. He's not going to be a slam dunk to go number 1 overall. So at the time, I thought somebody's going to think Quinn Ewers is QB1 in this wide open draft class. And here he is, you know, coming off of a not so great season with, man, the more I watched that Texas offense over the last few years with Sark, some good playmakers, man. They had Sark dialing it up, some of the best athletes in the nation, and we saw, you know, pretty good production, not great from Quinn Ewers there.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.